So tomorrow begins a new cycle of Mercury retrograde. This one is going to last through, I believe, March 20th, right at the spring equinox, which is pretty neat. But we've had a lot of astrological craziness going on already this year. We're right in the middle of eclipse season, and there's a lot going on. I've already been seeing a lot of posts about it, and a lot of what I see is here's how to protect yourself from Mercury retrograde. Look out for Mercury retrograde. This one's going to be a hard one, blah, blah, blah. And, yes, Mercury retrograde can bring challenges, right? But it's not about necessarily needing to protect yourself from these influences. It's about understanding them and using that energy and those changes to your advantage for your highest and best. And the big theme that's come up and that we discussed this week is that this particular retrograde is really calling for us to make space and slow down. So, in other words, if you have a completely full and packed calendar, make some room. What's essential? What can you not do this month? Where can you make space in your life to have room to manage the things that come up and to work with them and work through them? There's some information here that I wanted to share from astrologyhub.com. They have a YouTube channel. Their February forecast is up, by the way, and that is actually pretty good and has some good information. Some of this is in there. It's a gentleman named Gary Catton, and he was talking about how retrogrades do bring unpredictability, but unpredictability doesn't necessarily mean chaos or hardship. And he said there's an unpredictability with retrogrades that when we embrace it can bring us things we might not otherwise experience. It can offer happy accidents just as easily as chaos. But, of course, we have to be able to receive those happy accidents. And for that, we have to make the space for it. And so this retrograde is really about clearing things out to what is essential and making the room to move through this energy with ease, slowing down, not pushing, not rushing, not trying to crisis your way through it or react to anything that feels really, really urgent, like I have to do this now. That's not something you want to do. Generally, you want to take your time and be able to think things through, roll them around in your head, and, give yourself some time to think about it and respond, not react, right? There's that beautiful phrase. One of the things that was mentioned in the February forecast was that all these planets being square Uranus, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and Mars brings a revolutionary, radical energy. And this is from Rick Levine, another astrologer, who described it as a tension between wanting to hold things in the status quo but also knowing change is needed. Things in astrology have really been shaking us up, shaking out things that we need to heal, let go of, address, what have you. We are in a period of change. We are in a period of shift. There is a lot that's being worked out in the human collective as we move through what essentially is what a lot of people call ascension. I call it expansion. We're expanding into a greater knowing. We're expanding further into our gifts and our abilities. We're expanding into even a new appreciation for or curiosity for the esoteric, and more people are diving into that and becoming more curious about it every day. So this is a time when we really need to take our time and start thinking about what is working for us and what isn't. But it's not something to rush through. So we've got, we got until March 20th with this retrograde to really think about this. And it's not about, I have to protect myself against all this chaos that might happen. It is, things are going to be kind of unpredictable. So, in order to best roll with the punches and make use of this energy to transform myself, shed away the things that are not working, or be able to let go of things that may leave during this time or come to an end, I need to slow myself down, be present in my body, be grounded and centered. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to force it, but give yourself that time to sit with it, ponder it, think about it. And that is, people, places, situations, and things in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's professional stuff, what have you. When I find myself saying things more than once in readings, if they're coming up, in several readings that I've posted, that tends to be something that, messages, important messages that are coming through. And something that has been coming through a lot is, if you are looking for garbage, then garbage is what you're going to find. If you're looking for joy, then joy is what you're going to find. And when it comes to retrograde, are you looking at it as something that you need to guard against, ward against, protect yourself against? Or are you looking at it as a period of unrest, unpredictability, energies that are indeed shaking and shifting things up, but that you can adapt to and use to your advantage? And that's what I really want folks to focus on. Now, I did want to do a reading around Mercury retrograde just to give us a little bit more guidance on what can happen. Started to do this, it turned into a whole thing. I created a retrograde spread, and then it's an entire thing that is going to be in a number of parts here. So I've got part of it started, but I'm probably not going to get that posted for another day or two. So keep your eyes open for that. But I do want you to think about how you can make space in your life right now. Where can you clear things off your calendar? What is urgent? What is actually urgent? What can you not avoid? What is essential? And what is just filling up your calendar or your time just to fill up your calendar and your time and be busy? This is not the time to put your nose to the grindstone and try to get everything done. This is the time to take a step back and figure out what really needs to be done. And this is also a time to focus on you, yourself, figuring out what it is that makes you happy, that you want to see. What are your goals? What are your dreams? How do you see the path to getting there? A lot of people can easily, will shift their needs and their dreams and goals sort of to the side in order to make other people happy, in order not to create conflict with other people. And this is a time to start looking at that. Is what you're working on working for you? Is it making you happy, or did you overcompromise for someone else? Is this going to have you end up somewhere that you actually want to be, that you're actually excited to be, and you're looking forward to it? Or is it simply moving you into a place that you're just like, I guess I can deal with it. It's acceptable. Maybe it's not exactly where I want to be. This is the time to think about that. We're going through a lot of these big changes, and now is the time to get serious about you and your heart's desires and figure out what needs to be cleared out and what needs to be brought in order to get you closer to those. So stay tuned. I'll be posting more on Mercury retrograde in the next few days. And well, I guess that's today since it's now 12:13 a.m. So we'll talk more about this tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Love you. Bye.